Hey everyone! Today we're going to take a look at 10 of the most stunning transformations that celebrities have undergone. We know that they have a lot of tricks under their belt, but still, some of these changes aren't just eye-popping, they're truly mind-boggling. We expect actors to look different when they're in movies, especially if it's a popular actor that's in a lot of movies. They need to truly transform and take on a totally different role. But even with that being just part of their job, sometimes the transformation that they go through is enough to make us do a double take. These are the transformations that we will be focusing on today. 1. When it comes to celebrity transformations, one that a lot of people have followed over the years is that of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. During his original shift from being a muscular WWE star, the man lost a lot of his oomph as he focused on family-friendly films. However, in 2013, he packed on almost a solid 50 pounds of muscle for the movie Pain and Gain. And he's held on to it since then. In fact, it seems as though he packs on more muscle with each role that he takes on, looking pretty much nothing like the younger actor who first stumbled onto the scene with a trim form and a baby face. 2. Cate Blanchett gained 12 pounds of muscle for her role in Thor Ragnarok. These hardcore cardio workouts lasted 20 minutes, each one between other scenes that were being shot, and that has nothing on the fact that her wardrobe and her makeup truly did turn her into a totally different person. The moment that she stepped out onto the screen, it was like no other role that she had ever done. The Queen of Darkness was fit, flexing, and ready to crush anyone that got in her way. This is one of those transformations that we're glad we got to see. 3. Back in 1999, Jason Momoa was a pretty boy on Baywatch. Now, he's a muscle-bound hunk, most commonly known for his role as Aquaman. At over 6 foot tall, it takes a lot of muscle to fill out his frame, and the fact that he's changed from short, slicked back hair to a wild mane only makes his transformation seem that much more noticeable. There's pretty much nothing left of the pretty boy from Baywatch, but we can totally picture him leaping out of the ocean at a moment's notice. Did we mention that the tattoos totally helped to make his transformation seem that much more apparent? 4. Chris Pratt is one of the most stark changes on this list. Over the course of 6 months, he dropped 60 pounds of fat, which gave him a lovable goofball appearance on sitcoms and packed on the muscle instead, giving him the body and appearance that was fit for the action roles he had decided to start taking. The change in weight has heavily affected his facial appearance as well, causing that baby face he'd be known for during his time on Parks and Rec to vanish. He's a pure action star these days, and it totally shows. 5. Another Chris worth putting on this list is Chris Hemsworth, who gained 20 pounds of muscle to help launch him from teenage heartthrob to muscle-bound superhero hunk. Best known right now for his role as the God of Thunder Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then packed on even more muscle for his newest role in Thor: Love and Thunder. This was achieved not only through a carefully monitored meal schedule, but also by an intense kettlebell weight routine, learning how to box, and even going through a set of Muay Thai training. He calls it not just gaining weight, but gaining functional strength due to the method used to acquire all of those muscles. We're halfway through our list right now, and we want to know, would you go through some of these celebrity workout and meal routines if it meant you could undergo the same physical transformation? Or is the look just not worth that much to you? Personally, we're quite content sitting on the couch for another hour, but to each their own. Let us know in a comment down below this video, and let's get right back into the list with number 6. While not related to muscle and weight, it should be noticed that Elliot Page's transformation into his new, much-loved form deserves a mention. The actor took a leap of faith in how the acting industry would treat his coming out, and inspired many people around the world to do the same. And physically, he is looking better than ever, happier, healthier, and all around different. You would never look at this person and think it was the same star used during the first season of The Umbrella Academy. 7. Kate Bosworth made a stunning transformation for her role in Blue Crash in 2002. She wanted to really embody the look of a surf star, so she decided to go all out in her exercise roles. For 6 hours every day, 5 days a week, she would train. While 4 of those hours were used to teach her how to surf, an hour of that would be spent weight training, and even more impressively, she would spend an hour holding on to a very large, very heavy stone and running underneath of the water. Difficult? Yes, but the training certainly paid off, and she's managed to keep her shape after filming ended too. That's something that you just can't argue with. 8. Halle Berry was a stunner when she came out swinging for her recent role as a boxer. Despite being in her 50s, she landed a six-pack and claimed it made her feel better than ever. She got this by pairing the keto diet, in which you cut out all carbs and eat high-fat meals, with MMA-style cardio workouts, plyometric training, and her own daily boxing routines. It's not a lifestyle to sneeze at, but it is certainly one that has left her looking absolutely stunning, and without having to pack herself down with food 12 times a day. In fact, she claims that she only eats twice a day, and that her meals are nothing shy of absolutely delicious. 9. Hugh Jackman had one of the most controversial transformations for his role as Wolverine, one that only became more severe with each movie release where he starred as the titular character, and eventually resulted in him deciding that it was time to retire the title and back away from the X-Men franchise. This is because at 40 years old, he was required to reduce his body weight by 25% for the most recent filming. Something that could only be acquired not just through an intense workout regime, but also by undergoing episodes of dehydration that resulted in him passing out on set several times. This just goes to show that not every celebrity transformation is one worth lusting after. Sometimes, what the actors have to go through to reach that perfect bod is just a little too much. We have one more celebrity to put on this list, but before we reveal our top 10, we want to know who you think it should be. Let us know in a comment at the bottom of this video, and you just might find that celebrity the topic of another video on this channel in the future. And now, the final celebrity with a truly stunning transformation. 10. Ryan Reynolds might be considered a celebrity heartthrob now and a muscle-bound hunk to boot, but he wasn't always that way. In fact, he used to be known as something of a pretty boy. Reynolds is naturally slim, which meant that he had to work harder than a lot of the other celebrities on this list at the start, eating a whopping 4,000 calories every day, on top of being put through a strict weightlifting routine that helped him build those hunky arms he's now known for. It should also be noted that this was an aesthetic transformation, rather than a physical one meant to help him lift weights or pull off physical stunts. That's right, some of these transformations mean they can pull off superhuman feats, and some of them are just for the looks. These have been the top 10 celebrity transformations, many of which you've probably seen on TV yourself. Are there other actors that you think should have been included here? Let us know in a comment before you head out. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel before you go. We can't wait to see you again next time.